O God of war, what cruel unrest is this? A fault of thine that peace we keenly miss. Regret of mine to hold thee thus at charge will not excuse depraved mistake so large. For sure, with knowledge strong you stood aware of end result that deed like this would bear. Dear Mars, 'tis thine machine that costs us quell. If not refilled, this girl will ne'er be well. Beyond such fates as broken mortals glean appears divine allure of this machine. Upon it we may look with great despair to woe the day that Mars refused to share. Such hostile means of making humans break did Mars employ for entertainment's sake. From such a bitter end we draw our tale of times that called for heroes great assail. I beckon you to think upon this treat, a fawn's delight, exotic, rich, and sweet. To earth 'twas sent like bright Promethean fire, to kindle likewise triumph by desire. The former blamed the Titan paid by bird, the latter witnessed not a hostile word, as lads deprived of joy consumed pure bliss, at last their struggling mothers not remiss. By day beside this Mars machine awaits a girl of kindness, boasting lively gates, to witness here the treasure-filling life, with endless joy and ends to every strife. But promised not to give itself to greed, the Mars machine assumed the righteous deed of holding back its flow to once per day, restraining wealth from drifting lengths astray. The day it happened gave itself to gloom that kindly danced around impending doom. A pouring rain beat down as she walked in, prepared to let indulgence now begin. The drawer gave way to swift and steady hand, to even mind its contents coolly scanned. But what she found allowed no space for glee, for Mars infringed upon his guarantee. "This can't be true," pronounced the injured girl, beset with nausea, head on course of whirl, the world around her tilting here and there, her body tossed by torture to the air. Again she searched the prophet-promised drawer to find there what she hadn't seen before. But lo! The faded cloths appeared of lain, and hard across the sky poured down the rain. Before a moment passed, a spark ablaze anew within her heart, a need to raise the very core composing every life, with sword to flesh akin the thane of fife. Though throwing closed the felled machine did aid, still unappeased and cheated through she stayed. In rage she stumbled up the endless stairs, amazed to watch them drop beneath her cares. It seemed her weight increased with every sob of acid-tasting guile, meant to rob her blithe demeanor, shattered now to wrath that swore to vanquish all that crossed its path. Emotion boiled far beyond its brim, she clawed around a view bizarrely grim, until at last the truth upon her fell. Such madness coaxed a prompt descent to hell. Upon the stairs she realized time remained, approaching truly nothing, save a feigned awareness, lest the world in truth this mode of chilled asylum set to soon implode. A baffled mind observed the ghastly scene, a set of blood-streaked walls, an air-dyed green, her foes surrounding, mocking tragic dearth, assessing whether girl maintained her worth. Retreat from bitter plague-inducing kiln, beware this morbid playland traced by Milne. A child's wondrous visions realized fast, then mangled, seized by darkness doomed to last beyond the limits humans dare to know, then scattered, cold at kilo aims to blow this trick of seen existence over edge of seen perception. Vanquish time he'll pledge. A house now, finely built, but not the same as prison swore to pain from whence she came. The psychedelic torment far at bay, the girl not knowing how she found this way. "What brings you?" charmed the soft-eyed, gentle friend. In feeble tone, "The Mars machine does end." "How sad to hear," replied the new-found peer, and for a moment seemed as someone dear. But quickly light was washed away anew, as peaceful walls assumed familiar hue and blackened deeply, shade to match her heart, an inky pattern lacing trails of art upon a sin-stained ceiling, said its blame, "Of course, I wield a Snickers, it's the same." In comprehending crime, fresh ache soon reigned, for only single pause the girl restrained. Forever after, life aflame with fear, as cheery figures shifted wholly blear. Her pupils vanished, face consumed by rage, a passion swelled inside, resisting cage. "Dear Mars, do help the first to view this beast. Without your bars, upon a heart she'll feast." Allowing hatred full control, she pounced in brutal fight until at last she trounced. Alas, quite foreign seemed this ripened fiend, removed completely, far from tamed or preened. Along the streets she strode in search of prey who threatened any further Mars display. Destroying cities soon became a chore, and no one thought that safety risked restore. Objective chaos ruled the melting earth as youths and elders died, the girl of mirth. A monster housed in silken flesh strode home to cherish ash and fire sent to roam what once resembled lovely day and night and now remains corroded pool of plight. Descended problematic steps at first, returned in frightened praise to serve the cursed. Endangered structure bowed to show respect to she who, once, their power did reject. Delusion heavy, sunk upon her chest, collapsed to floor with seldom hope of rest. Devoid of prayer, she gazed at ceiling sky to mark its waver, observation high and rich with stumbling shapes amid the scenes of victims skinned and blown to smithereens. The folding space she watched without a sound until the air fell close and turned around. Delighted after finding girl as prize, it smirked a lurid smile free of guise. "So here's our hero," laughed the painted face, the girl reacting not to such a grace, for mind's decided function not a choice, and only over war did mind rejoice. Repeated air, "A hero, look how strong," amused by featured tale completely wrong. "O air, O conscious, call me hero more. Regret is ever mine that this just lore. Confused obliteration newly mine, I dare profess at current I entwine with Mars's evil goal of being awed, among his equals bathe in solemn laud. Machine of his has captured all my soul. Today it's not refilled, my life is null." "My girl," inquired air, so hushed forsooth, "I don't believe you understand the truth. Revenge upon this land indeed is dire, so child, I gravely beg you not retire. Contained inside your stomach, hearts be three, be yours and mine and one of friend Kylie. Remember her? A Snickers, that she gave, as sacrilegious swap for Mars bar crave. But what the reason I perform this chase of purging feudal parts of mine own race? And why can no one other understands the fact that Mars already rules our land? Conform to war demands as may be cured machine deficient. Can I live assured?" Before she stood to travel back downstairs, along came newborn writhing turn of airs. What here? It seemed a Mars bar stayed aloof within her presence, sight transcending proof. To clutch the right temptation, moaned the vexed. She minded less her role as Pluto's next. Another loomed above, to not be reached. To only grasp the lore, she so beseeched, and stretched a trembling arm to where it kept, but sprite and mean from hold the Mars bars leapt. "Oh, perish, sooner have me," cried the last, in anguish, former judgment growing crass. Though fleeting, such a teasing broke the girl. Convinced before of hero, now was churl. Abyss replaced the stairs to offer hope of cool composure, peace, a path to cope with weighty stance as Mars bar savior lone. So down the stairs she left her body thrown.